Okay, so now we are recording as well as streaming. So today I am going to do an overview of No Mercy, WWF No Mercy for the Nintendo 64 and texture modding as it relates to this game. So first you can see this is the game itself. Now we'll just, you know what, I should have just done an edit of Superstar, so let's do that. It is, you know, objectively the best wrestling video game of all time. But this is what the characters look like. They're very blocky, polygonal, you know, N64-y. They have a very distinct look about them. Limited colors and all that. Where this game shines is its gameplay, because it is just very crisp. Oh, hey! Hey, Emily. How are you? You're just in time for the tour. Those pecs. This sounds really loud to me, this music. I'm not sure if it is or isn't. But you can maybe help me dial in whether this is super loud. So, as I was saying, okay, alright, good. So the game itself has a very distinctive style. It was made by AKI, or I think it might actually be Aki, but I always knew it as AKI, so that is kind of how I refer to it, but I think it's probably Aki. Okay, thank you. So this style, this like cartoony style that fits in the game, is commonly known in the No Mercy texture modding as AKI style. There's also a high-res, more realistic texture mod, which it uses the same polygons, but it has a more realistic look, and I don't think I will see if I have any pictures of it, because I don't think I have any. No, those are all low res. This is someone else's work, but it might be. Nope. And that is also AKI. That is the plan. AEW wrestlers. That is like that is what was the impetus for this. I'm trying to find. Surely I have. I guess not. I think today I'm just going to go through something very plain, and I'm going to do a Hulk Hogan mod because he's just like the basic guy. You know what? I'm going to pull up a actual screenshot just so you can get an idea, because I think it's important to just see the contrast. No Mercy WWF N64 texture mod, because I bet I can find. Do I want to now just do an image and see? What this? Yeah, so this is just a random one, but you can see. Oh gosh, what have I done? All right, let's go back. You can see that this is clearly like these are high-res textures that they are usually taken from another video game and kind of copied and pasted onto the highly polygonal N64 game. And you can see there's a Vice article on why people still love it. The bottom line is that it is correctly, in my opinion, considered the best wrestling game of all time. Whoops, sorry about that. Pepsi Man. So there's actually AKI Man, who I don't have. This is a fresh save, so it doesn't have all the hidden characters unlocked and everything, but there you can play him. Actually, you know what? If we go to create a character, you do all of your moves against AKI Man when you are previewing them. Kind of jumping ahead, but those are all real wrestlers. Yes, so you can see in the ring that is AKI Man. So those are all, you would recognize the Undertaker and I don't know, possibly the guy who's getting the moves done against him is AKI Man, who looks, looks like Pepsi Man, basically. Let's cancel the superstar for a second. I would just do a brief tour. The Rock you probably have heard of, if you're not, maybe did not, intimately familiar. I think, this is the oldest Undertaker costume they have as a default, but they do have his old school Undertaker. Terry was one of the, this is the women's stable, and they were not very, well received. But yeah, this is the biker days. So this is obviously, this group here is the first, so they're probably the most popular, and then it kind of goes down from there. So, how do you make a texture mod for No Mercy? How do I make a texture mod for No Mercy? I'm sure everyone has different ways of doing it. The way you do it, generally speaking, is, and I'll show you. If you'll notice, I don't have my stream avatars because for some reason I couldn't get it to come back again. I need to capture my whole screen. Well, long story short is I can either get it to capture my emulator and Photoshop and like everything that I need, or I can get it to capture stream avatars, and for some reason I had it working and I booted it up today and it did not work. So I'll try doing just like standard intro to troubleshooting 101, restarting my computer at some point. But if I do that, I would lose my my background music. So anyway, lost my train of thought. So you got your blank slate wrestler here, and I will just load him up just to get a general idea. So this is the default. A battle royal would happen. This emulator, Project 64, and I don't know that it's unique to Project 64, but it is based on this texture enhancement tab here. Also, the textures are not unique to this game, but that's the only one that I've messed with. And you can see, it's been a while since I've done this, so it is not all fresh in my mind like it once was. There we go. Save texture. No, that's not it. Texture pack. Okay. So dump and edit textures. This little checkbox here, what it allows you to do is, if I press my D key, I have just dumped textures. That goes into a subfolder on your computer for the game. And you can see every texture that is visible here is every polygon has its own little texture wrapped around it, and they have all just been dumped into a file. So I have blanks, so you can get sort of just see somewhere in here. This is another folder that there we go. Blank AKI templates. So this is what a full wrestler would look like. These are the complete polygon coverings needed to make a full wrestler. Yeah, I've learned a very little bit about wrapping textures and stuff. The butt's the weirdest one because it's split down the middle, so you have butt to the right and crotch to the left, but the crotch is never completely visible in nude form in the actual thing. So I will show you just quickly because I I already did a test run of trying to make a Hulk Hogan in this style, and you can see this is a little bit. I didn't do the hair completely or anything like that. I just did the face. It's a little bit too crisp, probably. I need to maybe kind of dumb it down a bit. But the rest of it, you can see it is kind of Hulk Hogan-y. So we'll just cancel him. I forgot that I got to turn off my loading of textures when I'm not using it, because you can see it's just any screen you go to, it will just pull whatever you've got against it. You can change the font, you can change whatever. So let's take this out, delete all this crap so it's easier to find. I don't have to do Hogan. I can do another basic guy just to get to demonstrate. While I am live streaming this, I'm also recording it right now. I probably won't edit it. I'll probably just put it on YouTube just as is because I thought it might be kind of fun to have my very basic process. What I like to do at first is make this this character that I have here look as much like the character I'm going to be texture modding as possible, because it just kind of gives me an idea of what to work for and makes it easy. The interesting part is when you actually replace the textures, because there are a finite amount of textures in the game, meaning this dude's abs, just like regular flesh tone abs, that is the single texture for the whole game. So if, for instance, I wanted to write over this texture with like a t-shirt, that is kind of short-sighted because anyone in the rest of the game who has raw abs would then have it replaced with a t-shirt. So sure that the guy that I'm working on now, it may need, like I might need it to work out. Anyone else that I work on, there's a camera here in case you're wondering. Oh, okay.
Can I see where you are?
Yeah, well, here, I'll show you.
Tell the world your wife is.
My wife
bombing.
is here. So that's me down there.
Hi, people. I'm in my bathroom.
Yeah. So the way you, Emily says she hopes you're feeling better.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
So the way you make it so that the texture you want to overwrite doesn't like replace all the textures in the game is you have to make a base guy that just has like the craziest combination of colors that you can find. So you do like a facial hair, you give him blue hair, and you give him weird facial hair, and you'd give him a mask, and like that, and you'd give him like, well, I guess you wouldn't do a cap, but his ring attire, you would do. Love you. I'll be in soon. And then you change the colors and make this all kind of, and you can sort of tweak the brightness. And as long as no other character is using this bright green tights with the purple lips and the mask and the blue hair, everything that you replace is fine. So, yeah, so we'll get there when we do the actual replacement. But first, I like to actually make them look somewhat like the guide that I'm doing, so I have a base of an idea. So I guess, do I commit to doing Hogan? Hogan's pretty easy because he just has plain tights, plain boots. Really the only thing that you do is his face. But I know that there's a delay, so I'll drink some water and I'll let you weigh in. Yeah, the back before I was doing texture modding, when I was just playing this on my N64, I would typically make the fattest guy possible. I think it's Fat 2 is the fattest guy possible. And I would give him the most wild and crazy, high vis. Ultimate Warrior, the tassels are... So that actually kind of presents a interesting question because you're not just constrained by, like the textures you have, but there's also the polygon limits. Yeah, I could try and do Andre. He's also pretty basic. Anyway, I'd make a big fat guy with bright colored clothing who did all high flying moves and cartwheels and stuff, because that was what I used to do when we would play for real. I'd give him all the moves that I liked. But yeah, okay, we can do Andre. I think that's a good compromise. So I think Andre would be probably not thin. Maybe he would be thick. He is a giant. Definitely doesn't have any abs, although we're not going to see him anyway. Kind of the skin tone and stuff doesn't matter a ton at this stage, but like I said, I like to get any, like, because the idea behind these mods is that you are emulating the AKI style. I always figure, I'm skipping songs a bit. Sure. Yeah, because you're emulating their style, I always figure that as close as you can get to what can be found in the game is better. And you will see that I spend a lot of time. The move selection, it takes me hours. I watch footage of wrestling, the wrestlers like in ring and stuff, so that I can make sure their move set is correct. Like I wonder if I have any Excel spreadsheets, because I make Excel spreadsheets where I will watch games and stuff. Actually, at this point, I like to look at my reference pictures. So that comes to the next step is finding a reference picture. So what you want to do when you're finding a face is you want to get a straight-on picture, but you want it to not have terrible... Actually, this is a pretty decent picture because it's straight on. There's not a ton of shadow. There's a little bit of shadow here, but it's like fairly reasonable. I'm gonna change my settings a little bit and see what I can do. Let's do maybe larger than that. If you're this one right here, yeah, I think it's pretty good. So I know that buried in my favorites, I have a bunch of websites that I've saved over the years that have like high quality wrestling pictures. There's a French site I know. I don't even know. I think it's called like Ras. There we go. This sounds right. Yeah. So this is just it is like obviously looks like it's a GeoCities site. But we'll go here. We'll look for Andre Le Giant. Okay. And they have I know it is classic, but they have a bunch of matches on YouTube linked, and then at the very bottom they typically will have a lot of fairly reasonably high res images that are not necessarily available all over the place. So this was, and then I have a bunch of magazine scans saved and stuff, so usually you can find something in here, but I think I'm going to go with this because this is pretty decent, but I want to just... Something like this would be nice, but he's looking off to the side, so it's essentially unusable unless you're using it for a reference. It's not so bad. No. That's the thing about Andre the Giant that I've noticed from having tried to model him before is unless it is an action... it's pretty decent too. Unless it's an action shot of him in the ring, if he's posing in front of a camera, he's usually making a face. Like he usually does that bug-eyed like face. So this is unusual in that he just looks like a human being instead of a cartoon. But that's fine. I think this is a good picture, especially just for what I'm doing. So the reason I like to look at the picture in this stage is I like to match the head shape because you got a lot of head shapes to pick from. I think that's probably going to be the winner because he's got the jaw and his bottom kind of juts out a bit. But let's just see. Oops. This is it's probably not very interesting to watch because a lot of it would be me like fretting over the most minute of minute details. Also, I'm using my gamepad. Okay, don't worry about it. You churn out those mixtapes. If not you, who? If you can ask me to. I'm going to keep talking because, like I said, I'm recording it. So feel free to ask me to repeat something or explain what I'm doing because no skin off my back. Yeah, that's fine. It's good enough face. It doesn't have to be. I think there's like an actual curly hair that is basically just Andre the Giant. Afro, not too much. The front looks like him, but the... Yes, that picture is going to be his... Yeah, I'm going to take his face off. So the thing is, this curly hair right here, and this is where you start to get into some of the knowing how this works. I like the texture, but if you see, the polygons are not right. They're kind of up. That, you know, he's got like a flat... Like I can't... Oh, I guess I can't use my mouse. I think I have my mouse. So you see how it's got like flat right there? That doesn't really work. Oh, this is a great song. So what I will end up doing is, because I'm trying to just get what he looks like right now, I will use this hair. But when I actually do the texture mod, I'm going to want it to be rounded. So I'll pick a different hair, like probably something like this or whatever. So yeah, because I want the slope, probably, or even maybe even the afro is even kind of straightforward. That's interesting. We'll see. I might, depending on how afro looks, maybe, but something like that. So I'll excuse me, stick with the curly hair for now, and then come back to it. No facial hair, no mask, no caps, ring attire. Oh, you know what? I really do. There is a code that I need to look up. So we'll do No Mercy Game Shark all unlocked code, because you unlock a lot of attires and stuff, and I do need those. So I think that is no, I don't want that. Because it's an emulator, there's the cheat code. We'll just see. That looks like maybe that's what I'm looking for. But yeah, it's got the weird flat top. You can manipulate textures to your advantage at some point. For instance, when we were talking about Ultimate Warrior, there are ways you can use clothes that have like a flared leg that comes over his boot to make it look like he has the tasseled furry boots. This is not what I'm looking for. Okay. Fabulous move. There is an unlock everything code. I know that there is. I've done it before. I don't know why. I must be having bad search terms. Let's try. Oops. WWF No Mercy N64 Game Shark all unlock. Actually, unlock all. Let's try this. No, sorry, what I was saying was. No. Wait a minute. That was it, right? Okay, this is what I want. Ah! What happened? Why did it jump? No, come back! Okay. This is... I don't know why this is... I don't think that's like a right way to enter in a code, though. Because I think it should be on one... Let's see. Let me see if I put it in here and see if it shows how it's supposed to be. Because I think... have everything. Oh, Angel Fire. See, we're going back in time. That, I mean, this... I believe that the code is right, but the formatting, this is how it should be, I think. Alright, now this is the kind of website I can get behind. The white text on the black background, Angel Fire website, this knows what I need. Let me just search for one part of it and see. Oh, right here, yeah, okay, 2 lines, that's what I was thinking. I knew it didn't look right. So let's do... Oh crap, what do I do? Don't want to save it. Alright, so we go to our cheats, and we do a new cheat, and we'll call it all. We'll do that, and then See if that works. Exactly. This doesn't seem like there should be a lot of. If this worked, there would be a lot of the things that you unlock are in yellow. The text is in yellow, so this must not have worked. Let me see. Maybe I need to press the Game Shark button. And you know what? I'm going to save this so I don't screw it up. Oh no! When I said I'm going to save this so I don't screw it up, I loaded my old one. So I did the opposite by screwing it all up. Alright, you know what? Let's go ahead and change to a different save state so that doesn't happen again. I'll try slot 2. Luckily it won't take me that long because I'm also talking while I'm doing this, so yeah. Oh, before I get too down, I gotta let me figure out this cheat thing first because this is what it says. Maybe this is what we want is the options value label. I don't have a way to editing that. No. You don't no need to be silent. I just don't know why I'm not. I guess it's not vital for right now. I can probably just get through, but I don't know why my cheat's not working. Why don't I just try and restart the game? Let's reset. Soft reset. Let's see if that worked. This sounds like Goemon music. I wonder if it's from Goemon. I gotta charge my controller quick. So it's blinking at me. Thanks for stopping in, by the way. I didn't expect there to be a large portion of people who want to, watch me do texture mods. I may have just disabled my... Alright. By plugging it in, I think I effectively stopped my gamepad from working. It's just, if it's not one thing, it's something else. Alright, well, there we go. I'll just unplug it. If my controller dies, I will have to figure something else out. Oh yeah, I was gonna see if this is going on. Oh, Rhythm Heaven. Okay. Create a superstar. So I'll just pick anything because I want to know if I got the... No, it's not unlocked. I wonder why it's not working. Alright, well, I'll see how far I can get without this, and I will fuss with that off the stream, because there's no... Whatever, doesn't make that much of a difference. I think it was head 4. That's the one. Face was... It's not going to be exact, but it was something around here. Kind of Andre-like. Kind of get a scowl. Yeah, that's the one I used, even though I think that's Mr. Perfect. Under Ken Shamrock, maybe? The created characters are all based on real wrestlers. So there are I guess walkthroughs that have kind of guides to who every face is and what every move belongs to, what every taunt it is, and all that. So, no facial hair, no mask, ring attire. Hopefully, we can get the single. Let's see. He needs no pants, no wrestling, no full body. He's just gonna be just tights on the bottom. I really need to get those. Just want short tights. There we go. Probably will do black. Let's see if we have the... There should be a single sleeve one, but I don't know. It might be... It's probably unlockable. Andre the Giant actually is a character that you can unlock in this. There you go. So, there's an Andre for you. Let's take a look at the picture again for reference. So it's here, I think. Yeah, so no wristband. So we want none for wristband. No elbow pads. I think he does have knee pads, and he has super low boots, if I'm remembering correctly. So I'm gonna see if I can find an in-ring shot of him. I don't know if that'll show it. Yeah. Maybe not. I mean, this is a super old one before he has a singlet. And it also depends on the middle left. Like this. But you can tell before singlet, he did not have one. But I think he did in... Okay, actually, here we go. Here's singlet. And he's got no knee pads. Alright, so maybe no knee pads. That's fine. I don't need him to have knee pads. Depending on what and then just black boots, I guess. Usually I get a lot more... Like, I will sit here and look at a picture. It's better to take a picture from the actual event you're trying to emulate. Yeah, exactly. That's the right attitude. I know he has, like, relatively low boots, though. Because it has always struck me. These are good because they're shiny. You can tell the difference between this boot and this boot is just the way it's textured. This is designed to be more shiny, and the boots in this reference image are definitely shiny. I may lower them a little bit manually, but I will do that after the fact. So it's kind of a basic Andre type. That looks... Let's see about his body. If there's anything else that is... Oh yeah, we gotta go fat instead. Oh. Maybe even that one is probably the right... He's pretty big. That's... Shiny. Yeah, you have to chain Andres to get the shiny. I think that maybe that one's okay. I don't know that. I don't know. You would be able to tell without his singlet that body type fat 2 is like got a big gut that like is protruding versus kind of more flat here. I think that I'm gonna do just the regular fat. This is that's a decent Andre. Now I will not load, but I will save. And I'm going to even there we go. Look it up so I don't screw it up. I will now turn texture dump on. So finally, after all that, I now have a base for Andre. So I go and I pick out all the textures I'm going to need to reference or use this as a example, and I copy them. And you know, let's just go down to my desktop for a second. And I have a high-res folder, which is where it loads the textures from. There's my old Hogan face. So I will make a new folder, just I usually do. And then I will make let's call this reference. And let's make it so we can actually see what these are. There we go. So these are all the, like, kind of the base pieces. So then next you take this. I'll save this guy so I don't accidentally lose him. So next you do the part where I was talking about before, which is to get the shape of the character how you want it, and also changing. Like, I don't know if I want the hair to come straight up. I don't know. I'm thinking I'm probably gonna get rid of his weird flat top thing. So we will do facial hair. Just pick a random one. I think there's like a... Yeah, there we go. No one is ever going to use that. Because it looks silly. I really do need to find that stupid cheat and figure out how that works, but it's alright. No time to dwell. I might do a hat because if I do a bandana, this is good. Because that will curve out his head. And that might make it how we want it. So we'll do bandana and we'll just make it a fun color. So this guy's he's got style. I think that's undeniable at this point. Ring attire. Even though we're not really changing anything, it's just going to be standard black tights. I always like to change everything about the person because you never know when you may want to make some sort of change. So we will do... This is usually a good one because the tights on him are not symmetrical. So if you ever need to use an asymmetrical person, then this is a good one to use as a template. But this one will probably be fine for what I need because I don't need... We'll do yellow and dark purple. Right? Looks good. It's great. Oh, you know, actually, that's not gonna work because there's nothing in this range. I think these are they separate? Maybe I'm wrong. I might be overthinking this. It might be too long since I've done it. And I don't know why I'm not getting good previews. All right, let's see if I have the blank template still open. No, I don't, but we'll look here. Oh gosh. Yeah, so there's a separate thing. There's the butt, and then there's the thigh, and then there's the lower leg. So what I really need is something that has... There we go. That'll work. Because it has something that covers this middle texture here, the thigh texture, and then the leg texture. So that'll work. Upper body. I don't really need to alter his arms, but like I said, I typically do. I just need to make sure that I'll do long sleeves. I guess. If I do long sleeves, you need to make sure that the polygons are not off. Like this is a puffy shirt, so it will change the shape of him versus ivory. So we'll do a nice crop top. I probably a little bit of overkill by doing the full mod, but might as well give him a nice tattoo. Let's give him something on his stomach. Saturn has a stomach tattoo. And you know what? I think I need something. I need something on his stomach because I think this is two pieces as well. I believe there's an upper torso and a bottom torso. So I need something that will cover the whole thing. You know what? Let's take the easy way out. Let me walk this back a bit. No, but you will know that you have a repeat combination because if you get the right magic combination, it will load your custom texture. So if I was like flipping through trying to do some crazy combination and I accidentally picked a texture I'd already done, it would just pick what looked like a seemingly normal combination of textures. Does that make sense? I think I'm going to walk back what I was doing before, and I think I'm going to load. Alright. I don't think I'm going to change his body after all, because I'm not making any alterations to it. So I will just do his head and just see how that goes. Right, exactly. Yeah. Or it doesn't have to be Andre, it could just be whatever you're using it for. So let's see. I do need to change his head. We'll give him that bandana again. And oh no, not the head. His face. No, not his face. His masks, etc. That's what we want. Yeah, before I really understood this concept, I had a lot of... Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just picking out crazy stuff. I had a lot of times where I had accidentally done, overwrote over something, and I didn't get that you only get sort of the one shared texture. I was like, I don't get it. Why is it loading my old textures? I'm trying to make a new guy. The reason was because I was being a silly boy, and I had already overwritten it. Alright, so we'll leave that. We'll leave his upper body. We do need to change his feet. And so let's make... Alright, that looks good. It's a classy look. This might be all we need to do, really, because we're just changing his feet and his face. So I think this might work. Chaining Andres. Alright, let's clear out my texture dump folder. I believe it's this one. You really fill up your trash can in your computer doing this. Texture dump on. Okay, good. We're good. Let me just save again. So now I don't need to get all the textures that I already have, but I do need to get all the ones that I'm going to be changing. So the boots and the face, I think. Did we say that that's all I'm going to change? Yeah. So we got the two face things, the two boots things. I think that's all. So now we'll take them over to my high-res folder, and instead of my reference picture, I will make I usually just call it a number 1 because you can have 4 different attires saved. So this will be his first attire in theory. Let's do large icons. This is weird. This is resize these things kind of strange, but it's okay. Okay. That's better. So I'm going to turn my texture dump off because I don't need to dump it anymore. I will go up to his face so I can take a look at it because I'm going to need to position him. Now comes the actual texture modding. It's been 45 minutes. I can actually talk about that. So you go into, I use Photoshop, and I like to take I will take my face pictures in. And, oh, my computer's chugging. Now I'll take my reference pictures in. I did not mean to load those as... No. I am very unused to using Photoshop, and this is a version that I do not know before. But formerly, I was very up and up on it because I was doing all my silly texture modding. I'm not sure what this song is, but I need for it to be something else. Okay. 800% slower Sonic the Hedgehog music. Continue. Alright, so you can see that these kind of match up. For something like this, it's fine because I'm not going to probably make much changes. It'll be easy to just copy and paste, but I'll make these bigger in a second. I like to make a new file that I have used. See if I remember, still to resize. Okay. This will just be my working file right here. Do it like that. That's too big. Let's delete this background. Yes. So the first thing I do is I make a new layer, and I use like a bright red color and a regular brush. And then I will just kind of basically put in where his eyes are, his nose, and his mouth. Do another layer that is under that. And I will take in... Where's my picture of Andre? Now's the time where the actual the actual taking of the image comes in. Drop in my little Andre boy. What's this? I really don't like that. It just like loads it into a new tab or whatever. I gotta someday maybe I'll figure out how to make that not happen. So I'm really probably just gonna be taking his face, but I will use a lasso. And that was not a very good cut. Just do like this, and then we're gonna be putting Andre's face over this and sort of resizing it. Oops. Clearly I did something wrong. Why are you not cutting and pasting like I would like you to? Did I not press it correctly? Maybe that's why. That makes sense. Because it is so enormous. Okay, that makes more sense. So to make sure no babies were crying in the making of this stream. Just with the red lines. Yeah. Alright. Something like that, I guess. That may or may not. I may or might need to resize this before I copy it over because it is getting a little bit. Yep, that's right. So then, get rid of these. And I will now kind of erase, sort of blend it a little bit into the background. So I'm kind of trying to make the picture and this like fake version, you know, the AKI version, and the picture kind of become more cohesive. And now comes the sort of magic wand part, because this might be okay. So we'll go over here. This is the reference one. This is my working file. This is my reference one. And this is my... I'll do this in steps. This is the actual file that I'm going to overwrite. Okay, so we've got working file, reference file, file that I'm going to ultimately overwrite. So the first thing we do is go to, and this is based on a tutorial from, I believe it's from Loco. And I'll pull him up because I want to shout him out. There's a couple tutorials I like. Oh, it looks like Jordy AD is the one who did this tutorial, and I really like it, so I've always gone back to it. So you go to image and mode, and then do indexed color and exact, and then you flatten this image and paste it into this, and it will change the colors from here to the color restrictions in this file. Then, if you go to the image and remove it and go back to RGB color, you can filter it and sharpen it a bit. Well, that's probably too much. That looks not good. I usually like to sharpen it a little bit, but I might fuss with it for a second. Maybe smart sharpen. That's probably a better way to do it. I just heard a noise. Sorry. I hope it's laughter and not crying. So let's just do, I'm trying to make it very, like, a little bit sharp, but not a ton. That doesn't look so bad. Yeah. I think I might want the shadows. Yeah, I want to get rid of the shadows a bit. Anyways, this is just like kind of futzing with it a little bit to get it however I like it. So this is a fairly similar looking face to this style. This has got a little bit too much variation in the colors of the face, I think, but for the purpose of this, it's fine. So then I will copy this like reference file onto the actual file I'm going to replace, and I will save it. Save it there. Don't want to save it as a... Oh, that's why. It's in layers. Let's fix that. Okay. So now, in my folder, my reference folder. This is probably impossible to follow. You'll see that there's now this dude's face. So if we go in here, in theory, if we press L, it should load the texture we want. Okay. Guess not. There we go. Look at that. Now I've got an Andre the Giant face. Now the face is wrong. You can see the nose doesn't line up. And it's actually a little bit too big, but we now have Andre the Giant. And if you notice the green screen, that was from a cheat that I had enabled that I forgot. It's to make it to take screenshots easier, because you can eliminate the green easier. So you can tweak it further from here. And I did kind of like a very short version of this. So obviously it's a little bit too wide and a little bit too big. So maybe what I'll do is probably take this one. I will undo this because I don't want his face to be quite like that. Actually, you know what? Maybe it'll be easier to do it. Undo this one. Except for I have all the
Congratulations, Commander.
I have all the adjustments I made. That's all right.
You overcame great odds.
Let's try this. Let's do it. Let's turn off my index color.
The world of Inferno is vast and multi-layered. Enter it
Back to
again.
RGB. Let's do a new thing. We'll paste this. So let's erase away the sides a bit. Let's kind of resize this. So that might be nice. Let's see if we do I think there's a way to redo your last filter. Sure. Smart sharpen. Let's see how this works. Let's flatten it. Put it back over here. Flatten it. Save it, and we'll see how it looks like. Should be able to just load it again by pressing L. R, I think. There we go. So now you can see, except for I think I did not adjust his nose, so his nose is still too high. But the face fit is better now. You can see that it is more like the eye width is better and his mouth width. It's a little too dark, and yeah, I gotta adjust, make it lower. But generally speaking, like it's not terrible, and it gets the idea across. You could see his sideburns come in, so that worked okay. Just like the single pixel right here on either side gets stretched really bad right here, so it's this part of the polygon is really hard to work with. So it works fine. But yeah, I'm a little out of practice. The best way to do this is to keep the face, so you can just sort of drag it down a bit. Let's see. Oops. How old was I? Yeah, I am getting the nostalgia feels, actually. The original No Mercy came out in... I wonder. Let's find out. WWF No Mercy, N64, and we don't want the rest. Came out in 2000. So I played the crap out of it, and then emulation I went back. There was like a forum that was really big for the No Mercy texture modding community. I think this is the one I just lowered. Did I do it correctly? Let me see. Yes, okay, so let's try this. Let's see what he looks like with lowered. There was a forum for the No Mercy texture modding community. That may have been too low. His nose is pretty good. It's maybe could lower it a little bit more, but his hairline doesn't look quite right. We need to adjust his head. Keep answering your question, and then I was young because I was born in 84 in December. So when the game came out, I was definitely in high school. And I looked at my, actually, here, let's see. In this PDF, it'll say when my account was made, I think, right? Maybe not. Well, this post is from, where's the date? I'm not seeing it. I'm stupid. Oh, there we go. 2013. This tutorial that I saved so was quite old. And I had been doing it for years before that. I wish I still had. This one might be even older. Let's see when this post was from. Yeah, 2010. So probably at least a decade I was active on this, on the No Mercy Zone. This was the place, but it just disappeared one day. I don't know. I think there was probably some behind the scenes drama that happened that I was not privy to. However, things. So no, Hypnotoad is not me. This is another user who still does stuff named Loco, but this was posted in 2010, and I pulled it then, I guess, obviously, from when, or not too far off from that. And I was active a little bit before that, I know. I tried to find the Wayback Machine, and the only, I don't know what you call it, archival markings from that website are all after it has been discontinued, which was 2016. I know that it was not in existence anymore, and it just has the page that says like, "Ha, you done goofed. Ain't nothing here, son." So now that I got his face, that's the other thing is, you kind of do the head shape, but you can sort of tweak it a bit more once you actually have the face you're going to work with. And see, but yeah, probably that one. Oh, maybe 5. Yeah. So this needs to be, there's a bit too much color in it, it's a bit too dark, gotta line it up and all, but the point was just to sort of show how it works. And the idea is, like you successfully guessed, is to do a AEW thing of this. But let me finish doing the rest of his mod, because the rest is probably going to be pretty easy. This is the only one that I would have significant edits to, because I wanted, obviously the face is an important part. For stuff like this that I'm not changing, you just copy the reference, paste it over the dumped texture and save it. Just save over it. Close all these because I've got everything I need from them. Same thing for the other textures. These boots, that's it. It's going to be easy. I am going to do something slightly different with these because I wanted to lower the boots, because you can make, whatever kind of edits you want, because that's the whole point. Even if it, that is, I think that goes a long way to the grognards who are super familiar with this game, is if you make a very slight edit that, a very slight edit to an AKI file so that it looks like it's AKI even though it isn't. I think that achieves a nice verisimilitude of making you think that it was some sort of different character in the game. I don't know if I'm making sense with that, but why are you not copying? There we go. Okay, let me copy this. So this, for something like this, this is the only thing that has any kind of interesting part. So I want this black boot, but I want it to be lower, right? That's well and good, except for I can't just lower it as it is because there's an identical purple boot underneath. So what I need to do, put put a pin in Grognard. I'll come back and explain that in a second. It is like a more widely used term for super hardcore nerds. So what I can do is I have, if you may recall back earlier, I have these blank AKI templates. So I'll just go and find the shin, which I believe is this one, strangely enough. That's right. And I will just open this in Photoshop. Is that the shin? That does not look the same. Curious. Alright, hold on. Let's see. Oh no, it's this one. Duh. We got it. I'm not sure why there's an X through this. Puts a pin in it. And I don't know why there's a big X through this. The other thing I will say is, for when you're doing high-res textures and stuff... Oh, crap, I accidentally closed it. You can resize these up to 4 times, or up to 4x, I should say. So this is a 4x size one, so what I'll need to do is resize this down to 25, because it's the blank one that I have. Then I will copy this onto a new layer, so that'll be my eventual background. And then I will do my little magic wand tool. Let's increase the tolerance here. So, I don't know, 60. Oh, there we go, that's pretty good. And then I think... Let's see, I'm gonna zoom in a ton. And now I need to just use the little marquee tool. Get these other pixels. Stubborn pixels. Okay, so I have just the boot part selected. So if I just paste it. Oh yeah, it's like oops, what did I just do? The tutorials and stuff are extremely hard to learn, in my opinion. Okay, so I got my boot, and I want it to just be a little bit lower, so I'll just like lower it to like there. And the problem is this is going to line up a little bit funny with the lower foot, so I might actually want it to be a little bit less than that. You know, now I'm thinking about it. This may cause some funky look that I might need to fix, but we'll just go with it. Is that a kid? Not sure. Yeah, that makes more sense. See, you're already on it. Well, before I do that, yes, that is, I think, the ultimate correct solution. But it may not look bad enough that I need to even do that. So let's see. Now I've confused myself as to which one is the correct version. I think this was the right version. So if I just save it. And also, I'm not doing a great job of explaining the how to do it. I'm sort of just showing my process in a unplanned, haphazard way. Did we do it? Okay. So we got these textures. I think that's the lowered one. So let's go back in here. We'll go down to his feet. And if I reload... Yeah. So that actually doesn't look bad. You can tell that it's definitely kind of condensed from where it came from, but it still sort of looks like... yeah. So. And then this will also be... His head will be correct as well. Head. Yeah, so now his hair is normal too. So this is a, there we go. Andre the Giant, sort of. That's not the best Andre the Giant mod ever. I like the way the feet came out way better than the hair, because I think this looks like pretty smooth. And especially right here in this kind of devil's triangle of seams, stuff gets pretty wonky pretty quickly. The other thing about doing these low res AKA style textures is you don't need to worry about the same level of perfection as a high res texture, because it's aping this already existing thing. So let's just What would Andre the Giant use as his special? Just give him a choke slam. I know there's a choke slam in here somewhere. There we go. So let's just see him do it. Andre the Giant choke slam. Anyway, there you go. Slamming him. Poor AKI man never saw it coming. So let's save and not load this. But needs to change his face around and do some other tweaks. So back to Grognard. I can't remember the exact origin of it, but it is, I think it comes from war games, competitive war games, where you would like precursors to. You okay? Okay. All right. Well, I'm almost done. Let me wrap it up, and I'll be in there in like 5 or 10 minutes. Yeah, it's like sort of like it's the precursor to both D&D and games like Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, like actual military like war games. Yeah. There's a long history of it that I read about when I was doing my D&D episode of my podcast, because it's sort of the backbone of it. Anyway, Grognard is some term in there that I can't remember the exact term, that is just like really crunchy, rule focused. Let's see if there's even like a clean definition somewhere. So I'm not doing a good job. Yeah, it comes from a soldier. I knew that. But the slang Grognard. Ultra hardcore wargamer. So yeah, it's just like a super rules, minutia, min-max focusing kind of guy. Person. But yeah, it is good shorthand for someone who is like really into something that is very niche in such a way that everything magnifies the importance of different things. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it is like inherently pejorative necessarily, as much as it is just like someone who is really into something, if that makes sense. But I think it has to be, in my understanding of the usage, is something that's very highly technical, maybe, or more numbers focused. It's kind of used. It's used in D&D sometimes too, to describe people who are numbers manipulating type guys. So I'm going to go to bed because Jen needs me. But not. I don't think it's Killjoy Rules Freak by definition. I think that is just, it can be. I should have probably done a little bit more planning on what I was going to do, but I think this captured the idea, right? And so I didn't get to show you like the actual game itself or anything, because it is very fun. It's it boils down wrestling into a really, really fun element where you have a weak grapple, strong grapple, weak attack, strong attack, and it's like a tap hold type button thing. Yeah, I think that is a good definition. The squares and rectangles of wargaming fans. Yeah, the game is very fun. It is the most fun wrestling game. It sort of feels arcadey. It has this super massive moveset. I gotta make a note to unlock everything, figure out what's wrong with my cheat, but I'll do that another time. I'm going to try and post this video on YouTube for anyone who's watching it. I think you're the only one who actually stopped by live, so I appreciate it. Next, I'm going to do something more complicated. I don't know if I'll jump right into AEW guys yet, because I want to get into the groove, the hang of things, the swing of things, but maybe I will. Maybe I'll just say, what the hey. Yeah. So, in the meantime, thank you for stopping by. It was a pleasure. Good luck with your mixtapes, and I'll talk to you soon.